Today we are going to study about some other aspects of CNS like brainstem. Before starting with this subject, one suggestion is there with my students that never go neuroanatomy in depth initially without having a comprehensive knowledge or a very brief knowledge about the general arrangements of the CNS. And it will, if you don't understand the basic concepts and you enter directly in deep neuroanatomical concepts, that will make you literally difficult to understand the neuroanatomy. So that's why the reason I'm not going in the details starting. Slowly we'll land in the details. First we'll understand the concepts first, slowly and slowly. So then we can understand the concepts of the CNS. Today we are going to start with the new topic here, the brainstem, basic understanding and basic concepts of brainstem first. Later we are going to study in details of each and every part. Right? What is brainstem? Brainstem is a structure in the CNS which connects from the spinal cord to the brain upper side and the cerebellum on the behind. Brainstem consists of three parts: midbrain, pons and medulla. The brainstem consists of three parts: midbrain, then pons, then medulla oblongata or medulla in short. Below there will be a spinal cord. Right? We'll draw the diagram of both lateral view and the front view of the brainstem to understand in a better way. Right? This much part is a midbrain. This is a pons, medulla oblongata. Below there is a spinal cord. This is a front view of the brainstem. If you see from lateral side, you will see the brainstem, pons, medulla oblongata and spinal cord. Midbrain, this is pons, medulla oblongata, and this is a spinal cord. And obviously there will be a cerebellum behind it. And here also a cerebellum will come behind to the brainstem. We'll understand some parts of the brainstem first, so that I'm not going in detail about what are the parts of the brainstem. The only required parts to explain about the brainstem in brief, only those parts I'm speaking about, not in detail. In the future classes, we are going to study about the detailed parts of all individual parts of brainstem, right? So this is a brainstem, this is a midbrain here up to this much, and it will be having anteriorly a crus cerebral. Okay, the crus cerebral, this much portion, anterior, the two leg-like appearance will be there here, and those are the crus cerebri. These are also called as cerebral peduncles. Okay, it's called as a cerebral peduncles, right? They are called as a cerebral peduncles. And in between the two peduncles there is a fossa is there. Like this is a one cerebral peduncle, this is another cerebral peduncle. in between the cerebral peduncle, a fossa is there, and that fossa is called as a interpeduncular fossa, and this is called as a it's an interpeduncular fossa, right? And behind this, the elevation what you can see here, they are called as a superior colliculites. Okay, let me draw the posterior diagram of the brainstem in opposite direction here. Okay, these are the crus cerebri. Anteriorly they present. This is anterior side. This is a posterior side. Okay, and this is a interpeduncular fossa. And these two are the superior colliculi. If you take in the three-dimensional picture, and there are actually 4 colliculi are there. 4 colliculi, 2 superior and 2 inferior. Okay. These are the crus cerebri, are cerebral peduncles, which having inside the bunch of white matters, which is carried from above brain is there. Okay. From brain to the brainstem, right? So these are actually the main bundles of a brain, right? They are coming in the cerebral peduncles. They are not only cerebral peduncles are there, the cerebellar peduncles are also there, right? From here, what you can see here, from the midbrain to the cerebellum. From the midbrain to the cerebellum, there are superior cerebellar peduncles are there. These are the superior cerebellar peduncles. Okay, the superior cerebellar peduncles, which carry the white fiber connections from the midbrain to the cerebellum, right? And also there are middle middle cerebellar peduncles, which connect the fibers from the pons to the cerebellum here, right? And not only that, there are inferior cerebellar peduncles there are inferior cerebellar peduncles which connects the nerve fibers from the medulla oblongata to the cerebellum. Total there are 3 cerebellar peduncles are there. Superior cerebellar peduncles from the midbrain to the cerebellum, middle cerebellar peduncles from the pons to the cerebellum, inferior cerebellar peduncles from the medulla oblongata to the cerebellum. If we see in the cross section, okay, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, here the cerebellum will be there. Here the superior cerebellar peduncles from the midbrain, right? And from here, from the pons, middle cerebellar peduncles, and from the medulla oblongata, there are inferior cerebellar peduncles which connects from the areas of midbrain. So what does it mean? Cerebellum is connected by the brainstem by their 3 cerebellar peduncles, which having a highway connections of nerve fibers from the higher centers of the brain to the cerebellum, from the midbrain to the cerebellum, from the cerebellum to the brain, from the cerebellum to the brainstem, from the cerebellum to the spinal cord. Okay, it's a junctional area, and these are the 3 main highways for the cerebellum. After this understanding of basic concept of brainstem and its attachments, now we will see about the cranial nerve attachment to the brainstem. Cranial nerves, except first and second cranial nerve, all 3rd to 12th cranial nerves are attached with the brainstem, isn't it? So first we will understand what are those cranial nerves in sequence. Then we'll understand how to remember those cranial nerves, and we'll understand what components that cranial nerves are, whether the cranial nerve is a sensory nerve, or that cranial nerve is a motor nerve, or it is a mixed nerve, right? See, the 12 cranial nerves are olfactory, optic, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducent, facial, vestibulocochlear, glossopharyngeal, vagus, accessory, and hypoglossal nerves. These are the 12 cranial nerves, except first olfactory and optic nerve. From 3rd to 12th cranial nerves are related with the brainstem. This is a sequence. Okay, this is the sequence of the cranial nerve. You have to remember the cranial nerves along with their numbers. Okay, then suddenly in the books we will find that the 5th cranial nerve is going to supply, or 3rd, 4th and 6th cranial nerve related with the eye. At that time, you should know what are the cranial nerves in the sequence order. To remember that one of many mnemonics are there, but my favorite mnemonics will be like one of our trained teacher asked for very good vehicle and horse. One of our trained teacher asked for very good vehicle and horse. This is what the mnemonic is my favorite. There are many mnemonics are there. This is one of my favorite. So O, olfactory, second, optic, third, oculomotor, fourth, trochlear, fifth, trigeminal, 6th, abducent, 7th, facial, 8th, vestibulocochlear, 9th, glossopharyngeal, 10th, vagus, 11th, accessory, and 12th, hypoglossal. From the first letter we can remember. And how you remember these first three? All starting from O only, right? First you remember first nose, then the optic, then movement of eye. So remember in this order, olfactory, optic and oculomotor, right? And we should also know the functional component of these cranial nerves, right? To remember these orders of the functional component of the cranial nerves, this is another one of my favorite mnemonic to remember. Some says marry, money, but my brother says bad, business, marry, money. Okay, so this is another my favorite mnemonic to remember which component are there in which cranial nerve. Some says marry, money, but my brother says bad, business, marry, money. Okay, in front of these cranial nerves, if you write these mnemonics, and wherever you find S in front, that indicates that cranial nerve is a sensory component. Wherever you will find M in front of the which cranial nerve, that will become a motor component. And wherever you find B, that will become both sensory and the motor. Okay, in science, The olfactory is sensory, optic is sensory, oculomotor is motor, trochlear is a motor, trigeminal is a both sensory and the motor. The abducent is a motor. Facial will become both sensory and motor. Vestibulocochlear will become a sensory. Glossopharyngeal is both sensory and the motor. Vagus is both sensory and the motor. Accessory is a motor, and hypoglossal will also a motor component. Now, after knowing the cranial nerves and how to remember those cranial nerves in order and how to remember those components in order, now we will see the cranial nerve attachment with the brainstem first, right? And we already know that first and second cranial nerve not related with the brainstem directly, but third to 12th cranial nerves are there with connected with the brainstem. This is a front view of the brainstem. This is a lateral view of the brainstem. This is midbrain. This is pons, medulla, and spinal cord. Right? So we'll study about where the cranial nerves are going to attach. So as I told previously, in the midbrain there are two caliculi are there, superior and inferior caliculi. And above there will be a thalamus and the brain, right? So first one is about the third cranial nerve, because first and second are not related with the brainstem. Third cranial nerve is going to arise here. Okay. Third cranial nerve is going to arise in front of the superior caliculi level from the midbrain. Okay. This is third one. What is the name of the third cranial nerve? Oculomotor. Okay, oculomotor nerve will be there, right? And the fourth cranial nerve is going to, that's the only cranial nerve in the brainstem among these 12 which arises on the posterior side and coming anteriorly, right? So the fourth cranial nerve arises at the level of inferior caliculi here and comes towards anterior side. So here it is a fourth cranial nerve. Okay, this is fourth cranial nerve. It's a trochlea. Okay, third and fourth cranial nerve are related with the brainstem. One arises anterior side, one arises on the posterior side. One will be at the level of superior colliculus, another at the level of inferior colliculus. It's going to arise and come front. If you draw the same thing here, and this is the interpeduncular fossa and the cranial nerves. This is going to arise here. Right? This is going to come here. This is a third cranial nerve. Okay, and the fourth cranial nerve is going to come like this. Okay, which arises here and going to come anteriorly like this. Okay, and this is fourth cranial nerve. Okay, third front, then fourth from behind anteriorly. Correct. Now we'll see the fifth cranial nerve. Fifth cranial nerve is the largest cranial nerve among the largest cranial nerve among these 12 cranial nerves, which arises on the pons, on the both anterolateral side of the pons here. Right? This is a large one. Okay. If you draw here, it will become around here. This is a fifth cranial nerve. Okay, this is the fifth cranial nerve, and it also contains some motor component. As already we know that it's a mixed nerve, right? Mixed nerve. It also contains both sensory and motor component. Why it's called as a trigeminal nerve? Because it has three main divisions. Okay, from here it is going to first one, middle, and the lower one. This is an ophthalmic branch, maxillary branch, and mandibular branch. Okay, so sensory neuron, sensory root, but motor root is going also present here, which runs along with the mandibular branch to supply mastication muscles. Okay, so third, fourth, fifth. Next is about the sixth, seventh, and eighth cranial nerve. So before going that one, we know that is anterior median sulcus is there here, and these two are the pyramids. Okay, and these are olive parts of the medulla oblongata. Okay, so if I go with this spinal cord section, right? So this is the anterior median fissure, posterior median fissure is there. This is the anterolateral here. This is the posterolateral fissures were there. This anterolateral, okay, part in the medulla oblongata will become a pyramid part. Okay, where the motor decussations will take place. Okay, and this place, okay, the place of this anterolateral to posterolateral area is there. That will become the olive part because presence of inferior olivary nucleus in the medulla. Okay, this is actually the pyramidal part, olive part, the pyramid and olive part in the medulla oblongata. Okay, right. This is a pyramid and this is olive. And the sixth cranial nerve is going to arise between the pons and the pyramid part here, right? This is the okay. This is a sixth cranial nerve. What is sixth cranial nerve? Okay, what is that? So remember, one of our trained teacher asked A for abducent for the eye, third, fourth, and sixth cranial are related with the eyeball movements. Okay, we'll study detail later. Okay, this is the abducent cranial nerve. Next one is seventh cranial nerve, which arises medial between the olive and the pons. Between olive and the pons, medial side, there is this one, and this is seventh cranial nerve. Which one is the seventh cranial nerve? Facial nerve. The facial expression nerves are there, due to which we are doing the facial expressions. That cranial nerve which is going to arise between the olive and the pons, right? This is a seventh cranial nerve. Eighth cranial nerve is going to arise here. Eighth cranial nerve. What is the eighth cranial nerve? Eighth is a vestibulocochlear. Vestibulocochlear related with the balancing of the body and hearing. Okay, that related cranial nerve is going to arise. In between the pons and medulla, this is a pontomedullary junction, and these are this is the abducent nerve. Then the seventh cranial nerve here. Okay, facial. Okay, this is a seventh. This is sixth one. Next one, which will come here, and this is between the pontomedullary junction here, and this is a vestibulocochlear, and this is eighth cranial nerve, right? So here eighth one. Next, where? Okay, so between this cerebrum and the olive, between the olivocerebral junction, at that places there are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have to count like this. Okay, here there is one cranial nerve, the 9th cranial nerve, and 10th cranial nerve, and 11th cranial nerves are there. Okay, this is 9th, 10th, 11th. Here also, where we have to draw here 9th, 10th, 11th. What is the 9th? Glossopharyngeal. 10th is vagus. Vagus is a nerve which is glossopharyngeal, which is going to supply the tongue and the pharynx part. Vagus part all around the thorax and abdomen, visceral organs is going to supply. And 11th one is a accessory nerve. Okay, and it has two parts actually. Accessory nerve, which is a cranial part here, you remember. The spinal part, C1, 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 C2, C3, C4, from where the spinal root of the accessory nerve is going to arise and join here. Okay, this is a spinal root, and this is a cranial root of the 11th cranial. Together, spinal component and the cranial component, they form the 11th cranial nerve. Okay, this is pons and this is olive, right? This is a olive. In between the pons and olive, okay, here pons and olive here. In between the pons, some rootlets are going to come out here and to form one cranial nerve here. Okay, between the pons and olive, this is a 12th cranial nerve. Okay, this is a pons, right? And olive, there is rootlets are going to come in between. This is a 12th cranial nerve. Which one? What is a 12th cranial nerve? It is a hypoglossal. Okay, this is a hypoglossal. This is hypoglossal. These are the cranial nerves which are related with the brainstem.